rap music.
And maybe we also want to know your real name, because for a lot of us it's only Tiny that we know.
My full name is Tinny Niadukoino.
The Tiny was given to you
Tiny,
at birth?
Tiny, yeah.
It's on your birth certificate?
Yeah,
Interesting. How come?
I was named after my dad's friend, good friend.
Oh,
He
okay.
passed away, so.
Oh, okay. I only thought that, because you were a small person, they probably decided to call you Tiny.
Yeah, people always get it twisted. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, because the minute you start calling somebody Tiny, they would like to think about it in terms of your size as a person.
My Tiny is Tinny.
Oh, okay. I mean, hey, you never know. Just to clarify and just to, make sure that we got it right. So tell us a little bit about you growing up and where you grew up, your siblings, your family, your interest as a child.
I happen to be the last born. Ricky and Abadu, that's my dad and my mom. And then I was born at Osu Akwaje in the 80s. And then I attended Osu Home School when I was coming up. So from there, I went to Hector International at Achimodan. So after Achimodan, I came to Osu Salem Boys Boarding, then I ended up at Okwakman Secondary.
Right.
Yep. But I grew up in Labadi.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, you stayed in
I
Labadi
stayed
while you were going to school.
as I was going to school.
And
yes.
when you were running around Labadi with all your friends and all of that, what were you thinking? What were you thinking about being? What was your ambition?
From my childhood, from when I was KG1, I knew that I would be a musician, because my daddy was the one that motivates me every time, tells me about Mark Morrison, Michael Jackson, James Brown, and all that. And he's the man that buys every series. From 1 to top 10, my daddy will get them for us to listen to it. He plays music at dawn, loud.
What does he play?
He plays, his kind of music, what he likes. He doesn't.
What is your father's kind of music?
As I would say.
I'm only asking you because
No,
I'm thinking that it probably might have influenced your line of music.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm a dancer lover.
Right. What does he listen to?
He listens to James Brown and Barry White and stuff. Yeah.
But you'd like to think that listening to all of that growing up, you would like to toe the line of an R&B singer rather than a dancehall singer.
I'm not a dancehall singer myself, but you see, I started music when I with singing. I wasn't a rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was in the K.O.D. First and Found World, I was a singer with a tiny voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, and everything changed as I was growing up. So.
When did it change? What happened?
It changed. It changed naturally. Nothing happened, but it changed. I don't know, but it changed.
You just switched from
I just switched from singing and
singing
then
person to a rapping
rapper,
person.
straight.
And were you writing your own rap?
Yes, please. I was writing everything myself.
At
till
what
date.
age were you rapping? And we'll probably have to jump the singing part and then
Yeah.
go to the rapping part.
I was rapping when I was in class 6, almost to JSS1. Yes.
And since you were writing your own rap, what did you write about?
But that time I was not writing my own flow.
Okay.
I was doing freestyles on some people's flows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
And I used to fuse in my beats, you know.
Right.
Yeah. That's how I got.
You probably want to share with us some of the things that you did then, maybe rapping on others' flows. Anything that you remember you want to do for us?
That would be difficult, a bit difficult for me.
No, anything that comes to mind readily. Well, hey, once you're a rapper and you're Ali Chekankwe, you got the magic wand, you said. So you probably definitely want to do something.
Like the old school something, yeah.
Anything you want. It's totally up
Like
to you.
Ice Ice Baby and Hello Paddy.
Whichever one comes to you.
Wow, that's a big blow.
No, it's not a big blow.
It's not a big blow, but
no, I don't say it
but
as a
I'm
big
finding
blow
you got-
because then the minute you're a rapper,
You know-
when you open your mouth, you should be able to rap.
I see all
don't know.
old photos, so I don't go back to.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that you should rap something that you are recording right now. But of course, you've probably rapped on other songs in the past. Anything that you want to rap for us? I'm sure your listeners will like that.
Hip hop array. Oh yeah, you drew a picture of my mommy body cool, make my day. I'm working that you only that you never sing away. I'm singing that you call that you know.
Anyway, so we can move on. But so music-wise, who actually inspires you?
A lot of people.
For instance?
Yeah, foreign.
Maybe you want to start from local and then you probably go to foreign artists?
For local artists, I used to listen to Kojo Entry, and then Reggie Stone came out with this album. So yeah, I used to rap a full album of Maka Maka. Yeah,
And
so,
I'm quite amazed that you couldn't rap anything from Maka Maka for me. Anyway,
Yeah.
I won't put you on the spot, but we're still talking about, you know, the people who inspire you here in
yeah.
Ghana. So let's
And then
see.
talk about outside Ghana is Michael Jackson
Mhm.
and James Brown. Then I also started rapping. I used to listen to Redman and Method Man before Missy Elliott
Right.
and Dabrat.
And basically, I want for us to also go back to, you know, after you stepped away from Kidda Fest and everything and you started recording music,
Yeah.
really. Tell us a little bit about that story and how it all started.
Okay.
I'm sure that you just didn't get up one day and said, look, I'm going to the studio to record, but I'm sure that the events that led to that.
Yep. You know, I was doing it and I was going to school as well. So my father was like, when you're done with schooling, I'll let you come out with your album. So right after, he was not here with me. He was in UK by then. So, I mean, the door was sent in Ghana here then. I got to meet Hammer of the last two through Dogo because Dogo was recording this album. And Hammer needed a Ghana rapper who was tight. You know, so Dogo told Hammer about me. You know, the last two group, there were two people.
Yeah.
Hammer, Slim and Deep.
Exactly.
But through a friend called Robbie Debs, I met the other one.
Yeah, the other member
The other
of
member
the
of
last
the
two.
last two, and I thought he was Hammer of the last two. So I mean, I paid him everything for my album to be done. And we got to the studio. What I was hearing is different, because I was like, yo, this is no Hammer. Before later I got to know that the two, and you know, this guy didn't tell me the truth, like he's not the Hammer, the guy that I wanted to work with. So that was, and it ended up there. The money was not refunded, nothing. So I told my daddy, and he was like, you didn't worry, that's how it is. You know, it's rough and smooth. You know, we have day and night, so I should take it easy. And then I shouldn't worry, he will get me another stuff. Then I look for the last two himself, then I work with him. So, and God being so good, he called me, and I met him.
And you mean Hammer?
I met Hammer. Hammer called me. I met Hammer at Blue Gates, East Legon, with what's his name, Richard O'Brook, JD's producer by then. So we went to the studio the next day, Hasha Studios, and you know how Hammer is. When he meets you, you want to put you on the spot like that. So he was like, yo, I have some beats here, let me hear your flow. And I did my thing, and, you know, they were all clapping. I was like, oh, but these things, they are see, Kidda Fest and fun, you know. So the next day we got to the studio and I delivered. And I told him about what happened and everything. I should take it easy, but once I've met him, everything is done, so we work.
Right.
So yeah, and I told my daddy everything. So the communication was between him, my daddy, and my manager, my big brother, my manager. And
Right.
everything started.
I probably want to quote Hammer for a minute. Tinny is the most stubborn artist I've worked with, and those are words of Hammer. What's your reaction to that?
Of course, straight up, I am. And I will be forever till casket, because I want to know everything. I'm the type that I won't go out when you're playing, when you're producing your instrumentals. I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be close to you and see what you're doing. I want to learn. Yeah, so, and you know, when Amma is in his element, and that's what I'm saying, he prefers that he will be in his room. And I'm the type that I would say, no, Amma, I want to be here with you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how it happens to be like that.
Well, I guess that, you know, in the case of the fact that the guy who is mixing the music for you thinks that you are stubborn, I'm sure that in recording processes you guys, you know, had a little attrition.
Never.
Was there any
No,
attrition
no.
between the two of you?
I'm the type that always want to listen and want to learn. Maybe you should have, if you can get Hammer on the phone, maybe I'm stubborn in a good way. You can be stubborn in a good way. I hope you know that. So maybe my stubborn
Well, I just
in a good
quoted
way, but
it.
we
Yeah,
should,
but
yeah.
you are just supposed to
Because
break it down.
my
to me.
stubborn was in a good way.
Right.
Yeah, I always want to learn because I want to challenge myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also realized that, of course, Hammer was also very much attracted to your kind of rap simply because you did it in Ga.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go the Ga way when at the time when you had started rapping, everybody else was doing a local language or a rap or I mean, not local language. Everybody was
Tree.
doing like English or
Tree. Yeah.
or then they were doing it in Pidgin English.
Yeah. I started rapping in Tree because Tree is the most spoken language in Ghana, and so when you flow in Tree, I mean, you'll be there. Everybody, I mean, can go with what you're doing. So I started rapping in Tree. I did my full album in Tree with Ashanti International.
Right.
Nana King.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, that was my first album. But I mean, I sat down and I listened to it. I sent to my daddy. My dad was like, "No, yeah, I think you have to be a Ghana rapper. You have to be original. I know you to be an original person. So why are you flowing in Tree? I mean, be original." So I was like, "Okay, that's good." And as I got to the studio, that's the advice to Hammer gave me too as well. So I changed the language and I started flowing in Ghana.
Right. And when you have to rap in Ghana, do you write the Ghana yourself?
I wrote everything in Ghana, and the first Ghana song I wrote is Mokola Kwakwe.
And did you learn Ghana or you just grew up knowing it?
I grew up knowing it.
I mean, when I say you grew up knowing it, I speak Ghana, but you probably learned to speak it before you learned to write it. Was it a writing situation? Did you learn how to write Ghana in school or in a classroom or at home or what?
I didn't.
You didn't.
I didn't.
So basically what you do is you probably will write your own Ghana.
My own Ghana, what I can flow
what
to.
you can understand. All right. That,
bringing something different to the industry, so my other colleagues won't allow that because everybody won't be there for me to bring my product for everybody to just patronize it like that. So I was seeing myself like the Mokola Kwakwe. That's how I got the idea for the song and the album title.
Right.
So as the album was done, Hammer was driving around. I actually told my father that we should get a record deal from one of the guys. But then K.O.D and Goodies, a lot of people were around helping. So so I told my big brother and Hammer of the last two that we should try and link up K.O.D because he was holding book back. So once it's with some guys, maybe he might get interested in it. So we got there. I mean, he snubbed us. We waited for him, and I wasn't even having that patience, so I had to leave them and go to the car. I was like, no, this guy can't flex us like that. We should leave him because more room. We should go to a different person. We can do it ourselves even. So they waited and waited and waited. Nothing happened, so we got to the car and we left. So the next 3 days, Hammer gave us a call that he was driving around playing the song, and Step, who used to work with Abraham Mohenijan, 30 minutes, and he's now telling solid multimedia. He heard the song and he was like, wow, who is this guy? Dope guy and blah blah. He said a lot about me, and so he had to run inside and go and call Abraham Mohenijan to come and listen to the songs. So Abraham was like, yo, Hammer, I think I have to be part of this project. Let me be the man with the videos and promo on TV and stuff, and then we also handle the radio and other stuff. So Hammer called us and we had to have a meeting with Abraham Mohenijan, and everything started. And I met K.O.D. He became my manager.
K.O.D. became your manager?
Yes, he became my manager, and everything was smooth. I mean, it was smooth.
Is he still your manager?
He's now my manager, but I call him Daddy. Yeah, we still good. We having a good times every time. So afterwards, everything was on point. God being so good, everything was on point. I was everywhere with my songs, my albums, playing shows everywhere. So it didn't actually blew my mind like that, because I used to do it already when I was a kid at National Theatre and Fan World. That's why to date, my workings, I mean, the way I work hasn't changed, because I knew that I'll be a celebrity one day.
Right.
Yeah.
In your process about telling listeners about how your first album blew up and everything, and your meeting with Abraham and K.O.D, I just wanted you to maybe from your experience, I just needed for you to explain to us. You said you have a great relationship with K.O.D.
Yeah.
You have a great relationship with Hammer and Abraham Mohenijan. I wanted to find out the roles some of these managers play in trying to put the artists out there? Because they're in other quarters. We've also heard that some artists have fallen out with their managers and they have a really lousy relationship. How do you think that, you know, the role of the manager should be between, you know, the artists, just so that you would have that fine relationship, you'd have a long relationship, so that even if you have to part company, you probably want to part company on a happy note?
I think your manager should be your friend. It shouldn't be that serious manager that every time wants you to do this, wants you to do that. If you don't do it, fire on you and all that. Your manager should be your friend. He should be with you. He should let you know what you like and what you dislike. You understand? And when it's like that, you know, the rapport and everything flows natural. You understand what I'm saying? So, and the manager's role, manager should be out there every time looking for staffs for you, checking on, I mean, be there 24/7. Everything should be you. Yeah, you should listen to Tiny music, so that maybe when there is some errors and stuff, he corrects you and all that. He should go in and lobby for programs and all that for you. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, let's go to some of the messages that have come in. Mensa says, show on point. Eric says, the best interview I've ever heard, Tiny Grant. Nee says, great show. Tiny, how are you? Nee wants to know how you're doing.
I'm fine.
Grace says, I'm really enjoying your chat with Ga legend Tiny. So it looks like your fans want to hear something for you. So maybe you want to sing something for them. Maybe something that you're working on.
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of songs. Well, I'm thinking.
Something that comes to your mind readily, something that you think will hit.
All right. There's a new song coming called Barrier, and the rap goes like, Beko kemi we, beko nchemini, beko kemi ake ale chemene me Germany. Oh no, young man, I am a people him down people. I'm an uncontained no banner from down for people. Yo, I can't go to Baja, ding don so mong bell and benny, I need you fetch a cable sisi kemo. Eh, konongo kaya, otele keshipa, keja chuchu nyako to she not tramble jipa, keji chalibo no you that's like a zipati buini ya, eh, yellow flon. O fani trouble tie, a clotale quembla cabo miaka usukatai, ale min babu fai, quemo nambu fai, o foi dancadilo, quemo le queto sai. Nale a con a fili, when a cock on no fili, going she cover yomo, no le pipilipi, and from me he can't lay a shemo, she didn't say. Now money gaiba, Agwin and Kewaba, a major fina, Meshiam, Puto, Mina Kameiba, Agbenet of Eleba, to Kafu, Nufayela Kame, Quemo, barrier. Nobody crossed the line. Nobody crossed Joy FM line.
Okay, I guess that, you know, your fans and our listeners too would definitely look out to hearing that album, because that looks like that's a fat rap right there, booming. And how soon do you think we will be hearing anything from Tiny?
The new one is out, which you have it now.
We'll play that now.
We'll play that one, and I'm on various video now. I'm shooting the video next week. So I've actually shot 2 videos now. I'll be dropping them, you know, and then Barrier will continue.
Right.
Barrier will follow.
Right. Let's talk a little bit also about the music industry. You probably haven't recorded anything in a while, and up until this new one that
No, I've been dropping a couple of songs and singles.
Oh, really? When was the last time you released something before this year?
I released something not long ago. I think last 2 months or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And before that, how do you think your music was faring in the industry in general?
I mean, not bad. It's not bad. I still hear my songs in people's car. I mean, driving around, booming my tunes. So I feel like internet has changed everything. So when you're not always on the internet, you'll be left out.
Right.
Yes.
So, you know, you throw your music out there as well?
Yeah, I throw my music out there as well.
Okay, let's talk about the Ghana music industry right now. Some people say that, well, some musicians also work with juju and all of that. Do you believe that there's juju in the music industry? I probably have heard a lot about that in the football industry or the soccer industry, but not necessarily in music. Have you heard anything about that?
If I may ask, you believe the football?
Well, the thing is, it's not me believing or not, but it's about me trying to find out how it has worked for people and if it's still working. I've heard some interesting stories. Some of them I'm still amazed at, but I don't believe it 100%. But hey,
have you heard my story?
No, I haven't. You probably want to tell us.
I was there one day and I had a call from a lot of people that I should listen to Abeku Santana's program. I was like, well, what is it about? and then they said spiritual man saying he went to Benin to do his own thing, and he saw my CD there with blood on it, and he asked the man that, what is this doing here? And the man was like, they brought him long time ago for me to tie him up, so it's done. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But so he came to Ghana, and then he went to Abeku to talk about it, because he wanted me to know about it, because he said, I've actually got his number from Abeku Santana. I called him myself.
And what did
I
he
put
tell
him on loudspeaker.
and what did he tell you?
That he told me the same thing. That he went there, and even most of the Sakawa boys in Ghana knows that my CD is there. That the junior sister is a big fan of Tinny, so he wouldn't sit down for me and like that, so I should know about it. That's why he was on the radio talking about it. And then I asked him, okay, so when it's like that, like this, what do you think I should do? I want to hear from him. So he said, I should just do fasting and prayers. Same app I used to sing with, I sing with every time. I should use the same app to talk to God, but things will change. Yeah, so it's happening. I believe it's happening.
And
you
you believe that the juju thing is real, but you never bothered to follow up to find out from the guy as to whether he could find out for you who took your CD there.
He doesn't want to talk about that.
He doesn't want to talk about that. But maybe after you heard all of that, you sat back and thought about it. On hindsight, do you think that anybody would like your downfall? Anybody would think about pulling you down, and probably that's the reason why they probably might have taken your music back?
Oh, this question. Of course, yes. Of course, yes. I should have haters. Everybody can't love me.
Do you know some of them?
I don't know some of them. But recently, I heard that there's a program called 5 in 1 or 5 in 5, Arnold's program, and a certain gentleman was on the program saying a lot of negative things about me, and he's up and coming with his video out there. So far, it's only him that I know that.
Well, if he was saying negative things about you, have you had an altercation with him that will, generate into something like that?
Myself, I don't want to pay attention to him.
Do you know him?
Oh yeah, I know him.
Is he your friend?
Yeah, he's been my friend before.
He's been your friend before.
Yes.
Have you had any exchanges with him? Have you had to fight over a woman?
Nothing at all.
Have you? I mean, anything can happen.
No.
Have you had to fight about clothes, property, whatever?
No, nothing at all. So myself, I was so surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
And did you get the chance to talk to him afterwards to say
why
would you go and say stuff about me when you really don't know the truth?
No. That is below belt for me. I wouldn't call him for that. Never.
So basically, on that note, you will also sit back and say, "All right."
Okay, now I know. So
yeah, now I
it.
know.
Yes.
So how did you work around, your fasting and prayers against all these people who have probably taken your CDs?
Yeah, I've really worked about it. I told my pastor about it, so he had to do some fasting and prayers about it.
After doing the fasting and prayers, did that affect your attitude?
Yeah, of course, my everything has changed. I mean,
from what to what?
The way my songs, I compose my songs and all that, the way I think and everything has changed.
And have you at any point thought you probably want to draw closer to God in all of this?
Yeah, I'm closer to God now.
Have you done any music to that extent in your new album?
Yeah, so my first song I dropped this year was called K.O.D. Yeah.
And what does the song say?
It talks about juju and all that. I mean, you shouldn't give up in life. You can do it. When you believe in yourself, you can do it and be original. Understand? You should have God every time. Yeah, you should thank God that you're still here, because a lot of people gone.
True. And maybe just to finish on this juju note, you think anybody in the industry hates you so much so that they would like your downfall?
Anybody in the industry?
Yes, anybody in the music industry will hate you that much.
See, myself, I'm the fireman. So when you hate me, you can't show it to me. You hide yourself. when you see me. But when you go to where you do your things, then you spark your fire up. Because what I have is different. Because if it's not God and myself and the way I believe in myself and I'm strong, like by now I'll be gone. You know? Yeah, but I'm still here and they wonder how I'm doing it. They always wonder how I'm doing it because, you know, a lot of people that I came with, same year and same stuff, I mean, they're not flowing like I do now. You know, so I give thanks to God.
If you're listening and you want to ask Tinny any questions, you can send WhatsApp 02443 in the music industry at the moment that you would like to change.
Yeah, I'd like to change radio play, as in songs that radio stations play. I'd like to change. I mean, it should be GH Music 99%. Yeah.
Okay. And you just said something earlier in the interview that the internet has changed a lot of things. Social media is changing a lot of things. You also might also think about the fact that now these radio stations whom you are hoping will play 99% GH music are not only playing the music to the Ghanaian populace, but they also have an online audience that also listen to them. They might not necessarily be Ghanaians.
But they don't have to be Ghanaians before you play Ghana music for them. No, you have to push your products. When you do more adverts, people will patronize your work. Yes, so let's push Ghana, let's push GH. Because when you go to Jamaican radio stations, they play Jamaican songs.
It is true that they play Jamaican songs, but the truth of the matter is, if you decided to play on only Jamaican songs in Jamaica and it was 99%, and you are playing dancehall music, and it is your fight that your music should also be played in Jamaica. Shatawale wants his music to be played in Jamaica. Stoneboy wants his music to be played. Miss V wants her music to be played. I mean, when all those people, they're just Ghana, right? Yeah. And they are like a minute fraction of that 1%. And also, you think about the other dancehall artists from different parts of the world who would also contribute to that 1%. Exactly. Would you ever get the chance to fit in that 1%?
If I don't get a chance this year, I might get a chance next year.
No, I'm just being a realist in all of this.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just facing the facts because I would probably like to speak on behalf of the people who listen and not from where I am sitting.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah, basically, yes. So
I mean, what I was trying to say is, I mean, Ghana music, Ghanaian songs should be more than other songs.
So what percentage would you put the Ghanaian music on it?
Originally, I would say 80%.
80. Okay, so your 99 has changed to 80.
Yeah, 80%.
I guess if I push the argument forward, we'll probably
it might go 15 or 20. Yeah.
Anyways, that's the way it's supposed to be. Any other thing in the music industry apart from radio airplay that actually you hope that can change? For the payola, you think it still exists?
Yeah, of course it exists.
Who was the recent person you paid payola to?
Myself, I've never paid payola before. So
which is good.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't do.
So you think that, payola should be eradicated altogether?
Yeah, you see, because some of the up-and-coming guys are very good and tight, even better than some of us. But without money and payola stores, the songs are in the room.
So you still think that in this day and age people still pay payola?
Of course, people pay payola.
Interesting.
People pay payola, and most of the TV stations too. Before they show your video, you have to pay, but they'll play Jaru for free, which they don't know Jaru anywhere. They will play P Square, and after playing P Square to have the hits in Ghana, then they will pay P Square a huge amount of money, and they will give K.O.D 25 Ghana cedis to come and perform, and they will pay P Square in dollars. What is going on?
So you think that should also be addressed?
Straight up.
Okay. Now, would also step that also up to the people who manage the industry, like MUSIGA. You think that they're doing something to hurt or to love you in the process of the administration?
MUSIGA, I don't follow MUSIGA.
Why?
Because I just don't want to follow MUSIGA.
Are you a member?
I won't call myself a member because I don't have the card.
Okay, you don't have the card.
Yes.
Okay. So let's first deal with MUSIGA to say, if you had the chance to, you know, kind of chat, to have a chat with the people who deal with the administration of musicians in this country, what would you advise them to do? Not necessarily being a member.
You see, Ghana music, I see like Black Stars. We take huge amount of money to pay a coach from outside Ghana, from Japan, Asia, anywhere, to come and manage Ghana Black Stars. We should fire all the guys.
Now we have a Ghanaian coach.
Yeah, we have a Ghanaian coach.
Yeah.
Wait, but sometimes we do bring
that
coaches
is
from
past. So
outside Ghana.
let's talk about the now.
You see, I think we should have people from outside Ghana to come and manage MUSIGA.
Why would you think that?
Yeah, because I believe that their way of thinking is different. Ghanaians, what we think about is the tummy first.
But you don't think that anybody else in the music industry can head that music industry and
So far, I don't know anybody for now.
You don't know anybody in the Ghanaian music industry at all over the country
that can do what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
No, I don't know anybody for now.
And what about you yourself?
No, I don't want to be there.
You don't want to be there.
No.
So what if they?
I want to focus on my music and do
what
my
if they brought a competent person who wasn't in the music industry to manage MUSIGA? You think that person too won't be able to manage it?
Father, maybe the person might be able.
What about Gamro?
I don't know anything about Gamro.
Which means that you don't receive royalties.
Nah, I don't remember the last time I received.
Have you ever received any royalties ever in your music career?
Have I ever received
any monies for royalties from Gamro before?
That's way back.
And doesn't it worry you that you don't chase after your royalties?
I'm not chasing it because I know that I'm doing susu there.
Oh, you are calling it susu?
Yes.
I see. Now, basically, if that susu too,
that susu box,
if that susu too boss you, like they say in my parlance, what would you do? Because no, if it's susu, you should be following the susu. Me, if I have some susu somewhere,
you follow and know the amount.
2 months, I have to go and count. If it's two,
you put things on paper and know everything,
I have to be able to. Because if you are not bothered about the susu, at least you should be bothered about how much of the susu is there.
It's there.
Are you worried about it? Does it concern you in any way?
My management is on that. Yes, so they know what is going on there.
And you think that one of these fine days you're going to go in there to say, people, send your can you give it to me?
Yeah, that day will come.
Well, if I was Gamro, I probably would ask how soon so that I prepare myself.
Come like Jesus Christ.
Oh, you don't want them to know. Anyway, K.O.D says, I'm in my car. I can't even get out of it. I'm enjoying the interview.
Wow.
Thanks, K.O.D. Jones says, Doreen, I'm touched by Tiny's interview. This is really a change, Tiny. Mike says, Doreen, Tiny is dope anytime. Well, those are your fans. Anything you want to say to them?
Big ups to you. Big ups to you. I mean, keep it. Beef, it helps in a way. Because... it helps in a way because it lets you, get up and be on your feet. You know there's somebody out there coming. So you will not sit down, you don't sleep like that. You make sure you do your homework well and everything. So it helps in a way, it helps you in, putting your songs together and everything.
What about when it's in bad taste?
Bad taste as in?
You know how, certain people would beef, but they would probably agree on the beef and say, okay, we're going to do this, but it's definitely going to, benefit the marketing of my music and the benefit of the marketing of your music. But when you start going back in the studio and writing music to insult each other, that's what I'm trying to say. What do you think about that part of the beefing?
Yeah, that was what I was talking about too as well.
And would you go into the studio to record music to insult your fellow musician?
If my fellow musician throw the jab, I can't just be there and watch him because I have fans that listen to me. But I have fans that believe in me. So I'll go to the studios and tell him something sensible.
Well, won't you also, it's not a case of don't you, but won't you also think that if there's a disagreement between yourself and another artist, it would be better for you to confront each other and do it face to face than rather let it destroy your music?
That one is that's not bad. But if my fellow artists go to the studio and do a song for me, I will sit down and think about it first. If you're up to standard, I'll reply you. If you're below belt, I'll leave you.
They say two wrongs don't make a right. This is the way I look at it. Obviously, sometimes we also do things to contradict our own selves. You probably sat here a few minutes ago and you said, well, I'm a changed man, and because of this juju thing, I think that it's time for me to dedicate my life to God. Now you're trying to show a side of yourself to your fans, and that means that you're also trying to preach peace, and you're trying to preach the word of God. Now, if on the same vein, you also turn your back and go the other way and say, well, this person says X and Y about me, so I'm also going to the studio and say X and Y about the person. Don't you think you're also contradicting what you're trying to preach to your fans?
Never. The show business. Never. At all. Because my fans...
But even if it's show business, isn't there a place where you draw the line because you have your integrity at stake?
Yeah, but you see, that doesn't let somebody go to the studio and come hard on me, and then for me to just watch it like that. Because God has given me a good talent. So
but
I have
God
to showcase it and let the people know that what you did is not up to my standard.
If God gave you a talent to praise him, why would you like to destroy it through insults?
It's never I don't see that destroying anything.
Well, don't you think that at a point your fans too will get sick and tired of saying, look, this guy, that's all he's doing now. He just goes to the studio and he just records insinuating music, and we don't want to deal with him. What if what if it happens and you get that reaction from your fans? How would that make you feel?
Let me say this first. EL dropped the song, and almost everybody on the internet, Facebook, my fans, everybody was on my neck that EL is dissing me. You see, but EL is a good friend, and I don't see EL going to the studio and record a song for me. So, I didn't bother. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's not all beef songs that you have to reply.
And did you thought that
it wasn't
EL didn't mean the song for you?
Yeah.
And
you see, the same fans were on me that I should reply EL, but
obviously, quite apart from the fact that you have fans who say you should reply, you have a mind of your own.
My own, yes.
And that mind of your own asked you to go to EL and ask him to say, look, what's going on?
But you see, the same mind of my own wouldn't bother if my fans said it's too much beef and stuff about me, because I wouldn't be releasing beef songs only. I'll still be doing my conscious songs and my love songs to the people.
I guess now we all know. I guess now we all know your opinion on beef songs. So.